So what is addiction? Addiction is in your body. This nature of body is to be addictive. So you have to understand your body. The cells are minute little uh, batteries which energize you, and they also hold memory. And when I say hold memory is, so what happens is when we have a single thought, the single thought becomes an emotion and a feeling and an emotion, and that emotion is of a higher voltage. Basically, there's more weight, there's more energy in the emotion feeling than a thought. So slowly these emotions actually become embedded. There's a memory in the body, so they get so programmed in your body that the body actually goes through a addiction process to this emotion. So what happens is,
There's a question from Ritu Auntie.
hmm,
She says, in the 3-4 days back, I dreamt a caterpillar moving and changing into a beautiful butterfly, but I'm very afraid
hmm.
of it that it can bite me. What does it mean?
Okay, let me finish with the addiction and then
Okay.
we'll. Okay, so what happens is, let's understand addiction, the nature of addiction. So the nature of addiction is basically that the body also has an inner clock. Like when people have jet lag, they go through jet lag because the body is working on a particular clock and takes quite a few days to actually reset the clock to new location, new time. So similarly, there's an inner clock for emotions and addictions. So let's say if somebody was having um, outburst of emotion at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the chances are that they'll go through the same process again the next day. So you have to understand the body needs some addiction. So that's why in Gurbani they actually say, uh, O ras aaye ta aras na paye. So basically, what it means is the body, you're basically replacing one addiction with another addiction. So it's like switching gears. It's like switching off this, addiction of your emotions, of your feelings, and of lower addictions, anger, jealousy, hatred, insecurity, intolerance. All that is embedded emotions in you. So what happens? You could slowly switch off, slowly not switch off. You actually could change your track to this higher emotion. The body, if you when you start to get into this deeper meditative states, the body will start to seek those different new addictions. Because one good thing about the system, and thank God, the way this Almighty God made a body, is the cells we have are constantly dying and generating. So basically, they're degenerating and generating at the same time. So as we get older, the cells, the process is slower, but in younger, this, the generation is a lot faster in younger at younger ages. So the good thing is that they say within 22 months or 24 months we have a brand new body. So now what you could do is you could reprogram this brand new body with new programming of thought, feeling, and addiction. So slowly this body will, there'll be a tipping point in your body, and slowly you'll get addicted to this new addiction. So please understand the emotions. If you look at your emotions, when you have your emotions, if whatever your default programming of emotion is of insecurity, fear, anger, whatever it is. If you understand it in a way that this is just body addiction, that body seeks as addiction, it'll be easier to get rid of it than to get into the stories and creating stories around it. So what was the question, Purvi? That she about the dream, right? Ritu said.
Yeah. The
Hmm.
question was, in the 3-4 days back, I dreamt a caterpillar moving and changing into a beautiful butterfly, but I'm very afraid of it that it can bite me. What does it mean?
Hmm. So I think it's a new start. Ritu, there's chances of this caterpillar becomes, or there's a process, right? The caterpillar becomes a butterfly. Now the butterfly is it's evolving. The mind is evolving from wherever you are, but you are scared. She says she was scared
She said that she was scared that it might bite her.
that that
It might.
butterfly might bite.
Yeah, butterfly.
Okay, that's pretty clear actually. So she's scared now that the butterfly might, butterflies don't bite. So, but in the dream, she's scared that, so she's scared of the change. So there is a change which is indicated through your subconscious mind. So there's a beautiful butterfly and you're still scared. There's fear in you that it might bite you. So maybe your inherent drive is of fear of, of your programming is fear. So look into that. So that's why I say dreams are a great indicator of to show where your mind is of the process.
From Rival Uncle
Mm.
question. When addicted to love for everything, it means we have attained a certain level of spiritualism.
Uh, Garwal Sab, it's not addiction to love. Addiction to love. Uh, Addicted to love. So basically, if love is part of that spirituality. Is love? Love is part of that divine energy. It's major part of divine energy is love, fearlessness, uh, uh, truth, clarity. So those are all parts of the divine energy. But yes, if you're getting addicted to this divine love, but this love, I hope, is not individual love or physical love. So physical love is also addictive, right? So everything is addictive. So like sex is addictive. Sex is highly addictive. So if it's not the physical love, it's the actual free flowing love which is not stuck. So definitely it is good. So so that's a good sign. Okay, now another thing, what we've addiction, I think is pretty. Hope it clear. There's no questions. So another thing you need to understand is that everything what is made of is energy, and what is energy? Energy is basically uh, not constant. So there's energy is ever changing. So there is no energy which is constant. So if we are made of energy, everything is energy, then how come our mind gets constant and gets stuck? That's the thing I want you to ponder on. So when you get stuck in a certain frame and the mind gets stuck, so how could that be part of this free flow energy, right? So the idea is not to have your mind stuck in one particular place. Yeah.
Question from Saloni Singh. I was outside on the road, did not wear my slippers. My feet became dirty till finally I reached home and washed my feet. What does this
Slowly, I don't know what it means. Is this your dreams? Okay, I'm not here to interpret your dreams, guys. Please, I just want to say if you meditate before sleeping, please, so you'll have clear dreams. So I don't want to get into this interpretation of dreams, but I was outside on road, was my feet became dirty till finally I reached home and washed my feet. So I think you reached home and washed your feet, so that's a good sign. You're cleansing up. I think it means cleansing. So you are cleaning up the dirt of your karmic dirt, which is there. So that's a good sign. I think it's a great dream.
Question from Neeti Singh. Love as in a state of loving compassion and attitude of trust, brotherhood, and transparency. What do
Mm.
you say?
Yeah, love. See, again, love is not something which you could understand with the mind. So another thing is mind is very small. So when you try to understand love, you'll only understand love at the level where you are, right? So at that level, you'll interpret you know through your perception. But love is ever the difference between, like, I've mentioned this before also, the difference between divine love and love of attachment is basically it's love of attachment is triggered towards a particular group of people, or family or friends who are very close to you. So you are actually attached. It's part of attachment where you attach and you are just a love. That is not true love. True love is where you actually love. There's no difference between loving your servant, loving your driver, loving your boss, loving your uh, whoever's in your life, loving everybody who comes across. There's no restriction to that. Love as in state of loving compassion and attitude of trust, brotherhood. Yeah, this is what you've mentioned. It is part of it. Yes. Okay. Should we do meditation, or there's any questions or anything?
What's the effect of environment? What is reality?
Yeah, there's another. We briefly mentioned about energy. So energy, like I said, was is not constant; is ever changing. And then please ponder and check if your mind is restricted, right? If your mind is actually encapsulated or stuck in a particular frame, then you are not part of that energy. So that was one. So second is all is effect of environment. So another thing we need to ponder upon is the effect of environment on you. See what happens is we are energy bodies, and these energy body is we are basically information and energy antenna. So this energy body is open, the field is wide open. So when we go in a particular environment, we actually imbibe from that environment. So this environment has an unconscious effect on us. uh, so they've done studies on this. There's Bruce Lipton study. You could actually study that. So just be aware of the environment. So the higher your states of awareness are, the higher you will be aware of those effects on the body. So it's like, for example, if you go into somebody's house and this house, they've, the husband or whatever, the householders have ended up fighting, or they've, the let's say the atmosphere is tense. So when you go there, you'll slowly pick up on their thoughts on and their energy, and that you will take in unconsciously. So if your awareness levels are higher, you could actually shut off that system, not take that in. You could be you if your awareness levels are higher, you could actually say, okay, this is not my energy, this is somebody else's energy. So let me negate this, let me get rid of it. So you have to be very careful about the environment. So that's one reason when people who were interested in spirituality actually left home and went into ashrams and lived with a guru. And that's why in Gurbani again and again and again it's mentioned. I think most repetitive thing in Gurbani is about Sat Sangat. Sat Sangat is Sadhu ki Sangat, where you need to be in company of enlightened beings. So in that company of enlightened beings, you will unconsciously pick up on that vibration. That vibration will penetrate you and will change you, versus being in a different negative energy. So in the negative energy field of energy environment, you will also pick. So there you have to shut down your system. So you have to be diligent enough which environment you want to affect you and which environment not to affect you. So yeah.
Question from Saloni Singh. In Buddhism, one prays for the deceased. Does that help them?
In Buddhism, one prays for the disease. We not in Buddhism, actually in Hinduism, in Sikhism, everywhere in religions, they actually pray for the deceased. So they do this Chautha, they do their annual anniversary of death where they actually pray. So it's again, Saloni, it depends upon who's praying, right? If a person with weak voltage is praying, somebody who's greedy, a priest whose main mind is in money and he's coming there just for the hell of it for a ritual, how can that affect? That effect won't even go up to your gate, let alone the disease who's in some other dimension. So, if the prayer or if the meditation, if the blessings is sent by a person who's connected, that would affect. So, it depends who's praying. It also depends on the voltage, the person, the connection. That's all about the voltage, the connection. If the person is involved versus if the person's just doing rituals.
Question from Niru Tillo.
And
According to Freud, dreams are suppressed desires
yeah,
in the
subconscious.
subconscious
Yeah,
mind.
that true, Niru. Yeah, I've actually read a bit about Freud. He says dreams are suppressed desires. So that see any suppressed desire, where does it go? It goes into your subconscious mind, and slowly starts to accumulate there, and then they bottle up, and then you could actually, if you. So the problem about dreams is, Niru, that people actually when they go into the sleep mode, they don't even remember if they dream or not. They can't even remember their dreams because they're in a total unconscious state. So the more you meditate, the more you lighten up, the more you connect, the more you will remember your dreams, and the more chances of you clearing your subconscious mind. That's it.
What is reality?
What is reality? Okay, what is reality? There is no such thing as reality, um, because what we call reality out there, we say, okay, I'm looking at this thing, it's real. But when I'm looking at something which is real, is dependent upon the perceiver. So every person, every okay, let me get back a little bit. Every mind, every let's say there's 7 billion plus people on this planet, right? And they all have the mind, they're all living through their mind. So every mind varies to some degree. There's no two minds which are on the same level. So when we say, are we on the same page? Actually, people are not on the same page, because every mind will vary to mind. Even if there's a minute little variance, right, there'll still be variance. So there's no two minds who could be on the same page. So so let's say there's 100 people in a room, they're all perceiving, looking at a thing, at the reality. They all will perceive this reality differently. So when I say reality, there's no such thing as reality. Everybody creates their own reality through their perception. So the clearer your mind, the clearer your thought process, the lighter your mind. If you get rid of your mind of these ego, of this heavy baggage, uh, the perception will be clearer. The perception, the belief system won't be tainted. So the clearer the picture you'll see. It's as simple as that. So the whole idea about meditation and spirituality is cleaning up your mind processes, about cleaning this glass. If you're looking through a glass, right, and this glass is full of dirt and dungeon, and you can't even see through, then how is it possible to actually look through the glass? The vision would be blurred. So people are looking at reality through blurred vision. So when you actually clean this mind's glass slowly, the layers, the dust, the muck will come off, and you'll see the reality in actual sense, in actual perception. So when we say people perceiving the world, people perceive the world through their five senses: touch, smell, sight, whatever five senses are. So these senses are highly tainted through your perception. So when the subject of spirituality is called self-realizing, so self-realizing is actually dissecting your own self and cleaning your own self up. So once you clean yourself up, you could actually have a clearer vision. So your reality now, the studies there which actually shared in WhatsApp group, the study actually proved that with emotion, your physical emotion actually physically shifts the reality around you. So there's a physical change in the reality. So reality is your self-made reality. You could create any reality you want.